Trump really is running the country like it's one of his businesses. He said he would. Just to give you some perspective, the government being shut down is even worse than when it's up and running. Republicans would like you to believe that Democrats shut the government down, but the bill they wanted the Democrats to sign would knock out about 15 million Americans from health insurance.
Now, Donald Trump's plan is to do what he did last time, which was give another massive tax cut to billionaires and big corporations. And the reason some people think, wow, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy.
Trump's time in office has always felt less like a presidency and more like an endless blooper reel that accidentally got scheduled in prime time. And now that Jimmy Kimmel and Barack Obama have essentially teamed up to tear him apart, it doesn't even feel like politics anymore. It feels like a high-budget roast special. You've got Obama's calm, surgical logic colliding with Kimmel's sharp, late-night sarcasm. And the result leaves Trump spinning so hard he can't even land on which enemy to blame first. The man who once branded himself as the ultimate winner now looks more like the grand prize in a nationwide comedy roast. For once, real life is both harsher and funnier than reality TV. Take Trump's latest stunt. He's holding up roughly $18 billion worth of New York City infrastructure, Hudson River rail tunnels, the 2nd Avenue subway extension, and other major projects because he doesn't want federal money going anywhere near so-called day efforts. It's as if his team thinks trans stands for transportation, and they've decided that has to go too. It's a blatant use of power to punish a city that doesn't adore him, not a serious policy move. One thing's for sure, Donald Trump is not lying awake at night agonizing over how this hurts regular New Yorkers. This is a 78-year-old billionaire who's been loudly complaining about his problems ever since he rode down that gold escalator 9 years ago when Kimmel weighs in. It's more than a monologue, it's like an emergency mental health break for the country. He treats Trump's leadership like an accidental open mixette that somehow wandered into the Oval Office wearing borrowed confidence. The guy who thought he could improvise his way through pandemics, global crises, and economic chaos now finds himself reduced to a meme, a running punchline repeated in late-night jokes and at family dinner tables everywhere. Trump promised to drain the swamp, but what he built looks more like a political water park. He's the main attraction, sliding around on his own mess while insisting this is what success looks like. Kimmel once compared the shutdown politics to being forced to eat a dish you never ordered. Imagine a waiter insisting you must eat the lasagna the chef just made, warning that some people are definitely going to get sick from it. But if you refuse, you're the one ruining dinner. That's basically Trump's approach to governing. Do it my way, even if it hurts you. And if you resist, you're the villain. He even joked that the one upside to a shutdown is that the FCC stops answering consumer complaint lines, which, in Trump's Washington, is apparently what passes for progress. Obama, on the other hand, doesn't need volume or theatrics to dismantle Trump. His criticism is so precise it feels like watching a surgeon do stand-up with scalpels made of facts. He doesn't scream. He doesn't rant. He just calmly lays out what actually happened, and the facts drag Trump all by themselves. Trump's booming economy? Built on confusion, debt, and wishful branding. His foreign policy? A traveling circus tent that seems to catch fire every time he walks in. Obama doesn't have to write punchlines. Reality writes them for him. The contrast is so stark you can practically hear future history books sighing. Obama once described Trump as the neighbor who runs a leaf blower outside your window nonstop. From a neighbor, that's annoying. From a president, it's dangerous. Because deep down, Trump treats power as nothing more than a tool to get what he personally wants. It's not about service. It's about leverage. Kimmel jumps back in with his own jabs. He jokes that New York City projects are supposed to be delayed because, well, they're New York City projects, not because the president wants to blackmail Democrats into cutting healthcare. And then there's the conspiracy joke. Some people half seriously whisper that freezing tunnel construction is just an excuse to bury Epstein documents deep under the Hudson. That's how absurd things have become. The wild theories feel only slightly more ridiculous than the actual policy decisions. Meanwhile, in the middle of all this, you've got Senator Ted Cruz, nicknamed Sweaty Teddy by critics, suddenly calling for unity, which is its own brand of dark comedy. Trump's presidency often feels like a mashup of a self-help seminar and a toddler tantrum. Every announcement lands like a soap opera cliffhanger written by someone who lost the last page of the script. He governs like he's reading headlines off a teleprompter for the first time, talking about unity while pointing fingers, preaching honesty while juggling half-truths, selling success like a desperate infomercial host at 3 a.m. The only consistent thing about his time in office is how inconsistent it is. And while New York infrastructure is infamous for moving slowly, it's not supposed to grind to a halt because the president wants to strong-arm his opponents into slashing healthcare. So people joke that maybe they paused the tunnel work just to stash away incriminating files underground. That's where we are now. The actual governance is so chaotic that punchlines and policy feel uncomfortably close.